Hey guys, how we doing? So it's time to show you how I got this texture on the piece of armor here. Obviously, trying to keep it everything is non-toxic, so you can do it at home as much as possible. So I got here a bit of Quicksil and some acrylic paint. So yeah, so that's how I got this guy. But I went to my hardware store yesterday and got some sealer, all-purpose sealer. I'm going to see if this is going to work just as well. Obviously, being kind of like waterproof, hopefully it will be pretty cool. But first, we'll show you how I use this, and we go from there. Let's go. First of all, we'll put some Quicksil on, and put some acrylic paint. I tend to go about close to 50-50. What's cool about this here, this also becomes a primer as well, so you don't have to worry about priming your pieces black. It's already done for you. Because all brush here is going to mix it in. Make sure you mix it in quite good. You see now it's grey, but actually when it dry, it's quite dark. There you go. Seems to mix pretty well. All right. Cool. I use the chip brush, so I just kind of cut it down a little bit, get a bit of the goo here, and I pretty much just kind of stipple it on. Depends how thick you want it, you just kind of go for it. What's cool about doing this way here is you have a lot of working time, so you don't have to rush too much. You can kind of take your time. Yep, just take your time. Make sure the pieces is nice and covered. So you see here, I've gone quite fine over here, and over here I've gone quite thick. So I want to see how they kind of look as well, because as you can see over here, I'm going quite thick here. It gives quite a nice finish, where it's a lot more finer across here. So I want to try and replicate that in this. Okay. So we go for the fine over here, and go for the kind of like a bit more thicker finish along the edges. As it starts to dry, I'm just going through and just keep on touching it to get this area nice and fine, and every now and then get a little big thick blob and just kind of like just gently put on there, and try and keep it nice and heavy on this area here. Just making sure there's no obvious like brush marks on here. I want to make sure it's all kind of like look kind of stipple rather than a brush marks. Cool. So another thing I want to try is using a sponge. So I've got a sponge here, and what I've done, you can see here, I'm just going to pick away from this edge. So I don't want a clean edge like this. I want a kind of like a more organic looking kind of edge. So once again, I'll take my little concoction, and we're going to go up here. So I'm going to get in there, make sure I get into the crack. Make sure I angle my sponge, get in there. Just trying to see what is the best method for putting on this goo. So I'm going to go, let's go a bit heavy up here, up the top. Heavier. We go over the edge a little bit. I think using the sponge is going to be quite cool. Definitely have it more control and definitely look a lot more organic-y. Obviously keep on playing with it where I want it to be quite fine. And again, make sure the texture is stipple rather than strokes, because I don't want that look terrible. I want to make sure it look kind of like this. Cool. Let's dry this area, then we'll see what it look like. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so going to briefly talk about how I got this little UNSC kind of like a texture going on here. So what I used last time was the thick cardboard, and I found it was a bit too thick. I wanted the depth of this, but as I put it on, I couldn't, because it was so thick. It was kind of like lifting a little bit. So when I pulled it out, I was getting a lot of like kind of like overflowing. So I thought this time around I'll use a thinner cardboard, and I'll see how they go. So I'm gonna put the stencil on, see what it look like. Let's go by here. I'll take some of the goo, just kind of dab it on. Obviously I'm making sure that I'm not moving the cardboard template at all, as much as I can. Try to keep it nice and steady. Right. So now I'm gonna slowly dab it, get a little texture going on. Get a bit more in there. Obviously I want to look like it's been kind of like, a bit of wear and tear, kind of scratch off. So if it's not quite perfect, I'm fine with it. I make sure I get in most of the places as much as I can. I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to quickly just get some texture in there. Just lightly dab it. I want a kind of a stipple texture, not like a wipey kind of texture. So just go in there as much as I can. And if it's not perfect, I can always sand the top off anyway. So it's not a biggie. But we'll try to get looking as good as we can. Okay, let's lift it up, see what it looks like. Careful. Here it is. Not bad. So here it is. Look pretty cool. I'm going to take some piece of ultra fine sandpaper. Just give it a quick, super light. See. All I'm doing is just knocking the top off, really. See here, the texture looking pretty cool. Oh, another piece of bristle. Yep, I think using the sponge is the way to go. I have way more control. Yeah, quite a nice, cool finish right there. So that's a successful piece. So now you see how I get the texture on a piece of armour, and it's quite cool. It's super non-toxic. Something you can do at home. So just a quick seal, or it's kind of like, it's like a silicone sealer, which you can buy from most hardware store. I'm gonna give this a try and see how it goes.